Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TinyBlueGames. My name, of course, is Seesaw, or Chris, and today we're, of course, playing Wildstar. Now, as I've said once or twice, or a few times now, the amount of support I've been getting recently for Wildstar, as well as the amount of players playing Wildstar recently, has truly been inspiring. And I've really been wanting to make some more videos. I mean, I've been making a few videos that have done quite well, and I've wanted to make a lot more content for Wildstar. And I told you guys I'd come back with sort of a layout of what kind of videos I'm going to be making. And this is what that video is. It's a plan of what I want to make. So I wanted to make a bunch of different videos, and I wanted to make a comprehensive guide, I guess. But the problem is I'm not really a hardcore kind of player per se. I play pretty casually. So I feel a bit weird calling it just a actual guide. Because I'm not the best at everything. So it's a bit weird. So what I want to make, and I think this is honestly what Wildstar could benefit the most from, is a guide from for casuals to do the hardcore stuff that they think they can't do. Because I'm casual and I feel like I can do everything in this game. I feel like the game has no walls that I can't get past, and I want to really share that feeling with people. So without further ado, I want to present to you this. A casual's guide to the hardcore. Alright, so there's three main sections I want to cover in my guide. The first one is PvE. And in the PvE section, we're going to look at, starting at creating your character all the way to level 50. And then we're going to talk about the attuning process. We're going to walk through that. We're going to walk through gearing. And we'll walk through some builds as well. The next section will be focused on PvP. So this will look at things such as battlegrounds, rated battlegrounds, arenas, rated arenas, and war plots. Now I'm going to do this section after the PvE one, just because there's going to be some changes coming to PvP, and I don't really want to make it and then have to remake it. The third one's kind of an area that affects all parts of the game, and it's going to be focused on economy. So this is going to be things such as working on getting enough gold to pay for your gaming cred if that's what you want to do, or having enough gold to buy that fancy dye. It's going to talk about elder gems and renown and how they can be used. It's just about currencies in general. And it's a section I like a lot in a lot of games. It's just cool to make money. Alright, so now let's talk about PvE. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to sort of do a diagram displaying all the videos I'm going to make, or at least the broad titles of the videos, and sort of show you the progression. So we're going to start with create, where we create our characters. This obviously involves choosing race, class, path, all that. All these decisions you don't want to regret at the end of the game. Next, we're going to move to level, which is going to discuss all the leveling methods currently in the game, the ones I enjoy. And there might be several videos here, as I might discover new leveling methods myself while leveling my alts, or Carbine might add new ways to level just in general in the future. From there, we're going to move to 50, which is sort of what kind of things you want to do when you first ding 50. What are the most important things to get done right away? From there, we're going to move to rep, which is rep grinding for one of the first steps of your attunement process. And it just discusses some of the best ways to get the rep, as well as some of the gear you can get, which is right above. So as you notice, there is kind of a gear line above the attunement line. The attunement line is in yellow, and it's just the main sections of the attunement. I plan to do sort of a feature video on each specific part as we go along, but I just wanted to give a general outline of some of the bigger parts and some of the videos I plan to make first. So above that, you see the gear progression, and we go from blues to crafted blues, all that. I plan to talk about what gear you want, what stats you want, where you want to get the gear, when you want to start runing and for what, and how much money you want to spend at each place, because you don't want to put too much money into gear that you're going to get rid of right away. So back to the attunement yellow line there, we move to adventures. Here I plan to make a guide for each of the adventures you need, as well as a guide for the new adventure probably when it comes out, just because it sounds fun. Then we have dungeons, where I'm going to do a guide for each dungeon, as well as the Proto Games initiative. Even though it's not needed for the attunement, it's a really fun dungeon, and it's also quite good for gearing. So we'll talk about some of those dungeons and how to make them easier than some other guides might make them sound, or just get your confidence up for them. From there, we're going to move to world bosses and the optional, which is the last parts of the attunement, and runes that you want to have before raiding. And then we get down to the raid section, which is going to bring us to a whole nother diagram, but we're going to talk about that when we get there. This is just the first part you want to focus on, and there's a ton of stuff to do. I know it's kind of overwhelming, but it's actually a really good thing. It's a lot of content that you're getting from this game, and a lot of people need to embrace each part of it, because some people look at it as like a bunch of tasks they have to do to get to the end game, and you can do that if you want, and I'll tell you the ways to get through it quickly. But ultimately, the way you want to do it is you want to have fun on each step and really treat it like it's a game. So, just, food for thought. All right, so the next section of guides we want to talk about is PvP. So creation and leveling are going to be fairly similar for both PvE and PvP. I'm just going to incorporate a bit of PvP sections into the actual PvE videos. But once you get to 50, there's going to be a bit of change for what you want to do if you're going to be a hardcore PvPer. Now, I'm not a hardcore PvPer, but that's the whole point of this guide, that I can experience the hardcore PvP gameplay and game options without being hardcore necessarily. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do battlegrounds, and you want to get some gear. The first video we'll talk about buying, blue gear. It'll depend on how Season 2 looks. I'm just going for what we have right now. So this might be changed in the future, but it's going to involve getting your first battleground gear, doing battlegrounds, getting some runes and stuff, moving to rated battlegrounds with that gear, and that's the battleground progression. And we're just going to talk about battlegrounds and rated battlegrounds. From there, we move to arenas, and starting with practice arenas, moving to rated arenas once you feel comfortable with that. I don't know. I prefer to do twos to, start off, because mostly I can get another person online a lot easier than I can get another 2 people online. But, it's up to you. And then we're going to talk about rated 3s, because from what I've heard, it's rumored that 3v3 is going to be the most, reward-filled version of arena to come in the next season here. But it could change easily, so take everything I say here with a grain of salt. And then we're going to talk about war plots, then how to get into them, when people try to do them, on what server, and how to do them, and how they're fun, and you shouldn't be scared of them. So that's what we're going to do for PvP. Finally, we're going to let our inner protostar out, and we're going to talk about economics. So some of the things I want to do in economics is talk about the money you're going to have leveling, what to spend money on, what not to spend money on, obviously. From there, we're going to move on to one of the most important topics for the economics and economy of Wildstar, and that's cred. We're going to talk about how you can make enough money easily each month to pay for your game of cred. We're going to talk about investing in cred, how the price of cred is constantly going up, just how it's a safe bet to invest your money in cred, when you could expect prices to skyrocket a bit or drop a bit, and just the overall currency of cred. From there, we're going to talk about elder gems, what they could be used for as a currency, what happens once you cap elder gems, and another one is going to be renown and what you can buy with renown, what it's wise to use renown for. You can see that I've put 2 little branches here. I'm expecting to be a lot more videos for economics. I just haven't, picked out the title for them yet. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, I'm going to add them to this guide. So that's my thoughts on economics here. And overall, I hope you guys enjoy the layout of this this guide. These are just some rough things. Each video is going to have these kind of diagrams before them. So if you've missed anything, you'll see a link to a video in the sort of bubble, and you can go back and check it. And you can also see what video is probably going to come next, unless I change my mind, which sometimes happens. But yeah, that's the general idea. So thanks. Thanks for watching. If you guys really did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to Wildstar, or have an existing Wildstar account and just want to try out some of the new content, please try the 10-day free trial either at the Wildstar homepage, or you can click my free trial button to get you there quicker, or you can check in the descriptions below because I'll keep a link there. And finally, if you really did enjoy these videos and want to see more, please subscribe. It means a lot to me, and it's a click away. So have a nice day.